Hi everyone and welcome to another video of the No Shards challenge. In the previous videos we were going through some footage of the past, while today I want to show you a little bit of the current progress of my account, as well as showing you basically one battle that I had today. So starting with the account, I'm currently level 46. These are all the shards that I've got so far, and here we can see basically what I'm trying to do. I get enough fragments of both Huntress and Bloodhorn. I'm slowly starting to get Dragstar and Yannica, but this will still take a while. And I've started already with the Archmage Helmut, won one fight for the moment. Aside of that, currently I'm trying to get basically enough copies of this guy to get also the Epic. I got already one copy here for Classic Arena Takedown, then I got another copy here in the Ice Golem tournament. I would also like to get this epic book, but unfortunately I am running out of energy and I do not want to use the gems at the moment for that epic book, so that will have to wait, especially because the champion training still has a lot of points to be done. The issue is that essentially I do not have enough champions to level up. Acquiring a new champion in this account is very slow, and plus my silver is very low because I did the gear enhancement event just enough to get another copy of this guy. So we get 3 copies. The anniversary path is basically impossible to get these copies with the time that I have without using all my gems, but honestly, even if I use all the gems, I doubt that actually I will get any copies from there. So what I'm trying to do is to try to use the silver wisely, which means that basically I'm trying to refresh the market as often as possible to get a couple of copies of a common and uncommon champion without taking the uncommon and common champion once they are at maximum cost. And it's just funny, by the way, to see ancient shards popping up all the time and I never pick them up. I was so used to grab them immediately as soon as I saw them, so there was a no-brainer, but not in this account. In order to get as many points as possible, I tried also to work a little bit on the Doom Tower, which is something where I was procrastinating, and this fight had been proven to be very difficult. This was the team that I used, and I will go through some footage where I can show you basically the fight, how it was, but here is just a quick heads up of how this team was working. As you can see, this team is not my best, so I was not using my Kyle, I was not using Ezio, and there are other champions as well that are stronger than these, especially this rare champion that was not even leveled up to level 40. But the main reason why I selected this champion was the following. So he was just a reviver and it was essentially necessary to get it done, plus also an aura that increased a little bit of HP. She was also doing a little bit of healing, and plus had a reviver in case the other guy was dying, and she was the last one to survive, although most of the time they were both alive. Also, basically Valerie was providing me the shield together with Tagore, so that was very necessary, while these 2 champions were there just because they were the only one that had the blood shield basically accessories. So this guy as the blood shield accessory, and the same was for the dog. Of course, this is a very basic team and was not even close to be good. It took ages to beat this content. The best would just be to have a blood shield accessory to a champion that is at least level 60 to beat this early level content, and that would probably enough with the lifesteal, or to have a destroy set, which at the moment I had none, or to have some champions that could have done the job. And it's funny that I was just reading today the champions sets for the new fusion, and they are actually perfect for the job. So if I would have read probably before the skill of this guy, I would have probably already started to level it up to level 40, because either way I need it, and that would have been a much better champion to have, especially because of this skill that is destroying targets max HP, which is exactly what is needed for beating that guy. So the Scarab King has a passive that does not allow to make damage to him unless you destroy the shield, and the way to do it is by using the destroy set or having destroy max HP champion. And I also wanted to let you know that if you prefer to see basically the old footage before I go through these sort of topics in the future, just let me know in the comment. I'm still trying to figure it out, what is the best way to show the challenge without making it too boring, especially because the early content could become a little bit repetitive otherwise, and I'm trying to mix a couple of different things so that it's a little bit more interesting for you guys to see. Now we go through the footage and let's see how it went at the fight. We are basically at the 33 minutes already on the fight, but it's not a problem because I can still show all the concept already here. So as you can see here, for example, I made a sort of mistake because I buffed my team, and now he uses the skill that takes all the buffs from me. So now I need to use the A1 because I have a True Fear on me. But at least in this moment I have the reviver ready, so that was not too much of a problem. I can now put a decreased defense on the boss, and now I can basically use a couple of A1 while I have the shield on it. No problem for Karato that always get it with the blood shield accessory. And then I can continue basically to spam a little bit of A1 on the champion. Now I'm forced to attack, then I will get the counter attack on him. And now it's still okay because I can get immediately a shield. So I can use the A1 here without any problem. Same goes for Ugo. And I can also increase basically the buff duration so that I get the shield up for another turn. That's why Valerie is so good, because it has only one skill that attack and two skills that are actually useful for this fight. So continues a little bit. Now I don't have a shield on Valerie, so he will counter attack me. I can use the heal so that I don't attack with Ugo. With Tagore, he always attacks, so there is no way to avoid this. But at least I don't have many buffs when he uses the A2. So that means that at least the attack is not gonna hurt too much. I get back a little bit of attack, and then thanks to the Relentless, I get also the shield up. I will not revive the dog because the fight is going quite well in this moment, and I prefer to keep the skill for later. So I continue basically to use the A1s as long as I have a shield, and then I can put back the decreased defense. Valerie still has the shield on her, so it's not a problem. And now, as you can see, I will not use any attack aside of the A1 because he has only one cooldown left, so that's not a good timing for putting buffs. With Ugo, of course, I need just to use the A1 because I didn't have any other attack available. Once again here, I would like to help a little bit my Karato, but I'd rather let him die in this moment so that the Scarab King does not do any damage with the A2. And now finally I can revive everyone. But before, here I was just showing how the attacks works. So here does decrease speed, the provoke, and the decrease attack. By the way, some of my champions have some resistance built up for this reason. This is the major problem. If there are buffs, he is gonna steal the buffs from champions who do not have shields, and more buffs there are, more the boss attack. So that's why it's important to not have many buffs, otherwise eventually the shield will vanish and I will get the true fear on all the champions. And this is why the fight was so long, because in the end all the damage is basically decreased by 90% in this fight, because it didn't destroy any of the shield with destroy max HP or with the destroy set. And now everybody's alive once again. Finally also the dog can contribute a little bit on the fight. In this footage is not shown, but sometimes it was alive. And in the end, that was the only faction where I had a bloodshed accessory. So I said, let's put him in the fight, even if it's just for a little bit, helped out with the waves to make a little bit of damage and also a little bit on the fight when he was alive. So no harm done. Now even the leech is there. You can see that the dog didn't do any harm there thanks to the bloodshed accessory. And then I can finally finish this few attack from him, and then the smite debuff did the work. I got here another chicken, 4-star chicken, that is helpful for the champion training event. Here I'm showing just the stats. Hugo is quite fast, built a little bit for arena. Consider that I am just in the beginning of my experiences, so of course the stats are nothing special. I didn't even have the masteries done in any of my champions completely. Here Karato is just there because of the bloodshed accessory, didn't even have good crit rate, just a little bit of speed. A good relic, the one that I got for free. Aside of that, just a lifesteal to keep him a little bit alive, but was not doing enough damage to really heal up a lot, just enough to help a little bit. And then the smite debuff from the blessing also helped a little bit, but not significantly, honestly. And Valerie was just in relentless, so that she could have used her skill more often, since she had quite good skill. No relics, just maxed up the level of her skill, so that was very important for the cooldown. And then the dog absolutely trash. And of course the gear from other champions, but aside of that the dog was not doing much. Now I just put back the gear for another fight in the Doom Tower. I'm using the preset manager so that I can get easily the gear back and forth. Although this is very handy thanks to the free gear removal, it's a little bit annoying because you always need to remember to put back the gear immediately, and it happens more than once that I forgot it, and then I went either in the arena or even in farming some dungeons and so forth, and I put maybe even auto battle, and I totally forgot that I had no gear, and sometimes I wasted a couple of energy in this. But okay, in the end this account is not about efficiency, so it's fine even in this way. Now I will just show this fight a little bit, at least I can get a little bit of energy. You just see the difference between this fight and the Scarab King. That's also why it was so important to spend the time there, even if it was very slow. Now I open more content, and I think that as long as we don't get the next Scarab King, then the other bosses should be handy and possible without too many concern. For the next rotation of the Scarab King, maybe I will have already leveled up some of these rare champions, so I can use them. Maybe in this way I can even put a better champion and try to kill the boss before the boss kills me. So maybe I put back Kyle and Ezio and just go full damage with the 3 rares that I can get to level 40 as fast as possible, so that they may destroy as much HP as possible, and then we do the fight quite easily. That's basically all for this video. We get the energy as well. I would like also to know your opinion in general, if you like more this type of content compared to showing the old footage. maybe it's more interesting, just write me in comment and let me know what you think about it. Have a good day.